All right, y'all. Good morning, everybody. We are in the room this morning, and this will be a special one. This will be a special show today. So, yesterday was 9/11. 9/11/2023. And, of course, the country, in many ways, was celebrating, I shouldn't say celebrating, commemorating. It's the wrong word. Commemorating the lives of those who were lost during the 9/11 tragedy 22 years ago. And I don't always do this, but this year I was reflective of where I was and what I was doing on 9/11/2020, that year that it happened, the actual year. I was thinking about what happened that day, and I wanted to ask you all the same question. Where were you on 9/11? I think sometimes we as you get the distance, from something that happened that was traumatic and tragic, such as that, it causes us to maybe not remember exactly how traumatic that was, and you don't remember some of the things that actually transpired for you in your life, and then just how different things are today. And are they different? Are they much different? I think of my children. My children do not have a traumatic event in their lifetime on American soil, anything like 9/11. The difference between 9/11 and some of the other things that have happened since then, whether that's a terrorist attack or whether that's a storm, all of that stuff is homegrown. The terrorist attacks that have been, don't make it any better, just to be clear, but the terrorist attacks that have happened over the years where somebody has carried out some horrific attack on American soil, that was something that someone did that was homegrown. The storms that have happened over the years, that's weather. It's nothing you can do about that. The fires, that is it might be something arsonist or human error or just global warming, the environment, but that's something that there is no outside force trying to take you out. 9/11 was the first attack on American soil since Pearl Harbor. So nothing had happened by another country since Pearl Harbor. Watch your shots, Jaleel. So that said, we hadn't experienced that, and that was traumatic. So I remember taking my children to school and looking at and hearing what was going on. It was kind of like when it first happened, it was like I'm hearing the ABC News had taken over the Tom Joyner show. Normally Tom Joyner would be on in the morning. ABC News had taken it over because ABC Radio owned the Tom Joyner show at the time, and they were playing the news reports that a plane had accidentally or crashed into the World Trade Center. So when I'm first hearing this is something that was a total accident. Nobody knew why it happened, and they were just trying to figure things out. Okay. Then by the time I get to the house from dropping the kids off to school, Deja, Jaleel, and Kwani, I believe I dropped off Jaleel last. By the time I finished dropping them off to school, everything was beginning to change. There was questions on whether this was an accident. So I walk into the house. Unissa has no idea what's happening. She doesn't know that a plane had crashed into the World Trade Center. So I walk in the kitchen. I said, did you see what happened? Did you hear what happened? She's on the phone with someone. I said, no. She says, no. I said, a plane crashed into the World Trade Center. She says, huh? I said, a plane crashed into the World Trade Center. And she was like, how did that happen? I said, I don't know. I guess the pilot, I don't know if they just crashed or something happened, but whatever the case, a plane crashed into the World Trade Center. And literally the TV was on behind her in the kitchen, the small black and white TV at the time that we had in the kitchen. She turned around to look at the TV. And as we turned around and looked at the TV, the second plane hit the World Trade Center. I don't think y'all realize how much of a game-changing moment that was. It's hard to fathom today how much of a game-changing moment that was, because in that moment, it was mass confusion. Because, oh, wait a minute. this is not an accident, or is it an accident, or what is this? It's like there was no reference for the American citizen of something like this. So before our eyes, live on TV, the second plane hit and everything got different. The news broadcasters were totally confused. People were confused. I immediately left the house. I ran out of the house and I went and picked up all of the kids from school. I got everybody out of school because at that point, I didn't know what else was about to happen. While I'm going to pick them up from school, I hear that a plane has hit the Pentagon. And it's like, okay, what in the world is happening? I didn't say in the world. That's not what I said. I said something else. I mean, we were blown away, confused. Then, of course, not too long later, the heroic passengers of the third plane decided to crash that plane, to take their own lives and crash that plane in an open field in Connecticut. There is absolutely no reference for this. And we're watching this all live on TV. We're confused by this all on national TV. We're living this out in the moment. Yeah. I shared that because we're in an interesting place right now in this country, in this world. A lot of things are happening that are quite confusing. And people really don't have a reference. The only thing I can compare it to that possibly Jaleel, my second oldest son, who directs the show and works with me every single day, the only thing he probably could reference it to is when he and I both watched on TV live the attack on the Capitol, which was now 2 years ago. It's 2 years ago or 3 years ago. When we just kind of watched that thing bubble and build. And it's like, wait a minute, is this really happening? But even that was traumatic, and 3 people died that day, and that wasn't a direct attack on our country, but that wasn't 9/11. 9/11, all at once, you watched 3,000 plus people die. You know the majority of those people dying. You're literally watching people jump out of windows on national TV live. It's like the building is burning up. I can burn up in this building. I can die of smoke inhalation, or I'm going to go ahead and choose my own poison and I'm going to jump out this building. Not live on TV. You are literally watching people say, you know what? I would rather hit the ground and die than stay in here and let this building burn me up. We don't have any comparison for that today. Currently, if you are under 22, that is, you're clueless on what the emotions are behind that, and I hope you never find out. Yeah. So my question to you today is, where were you on 9/11? Where were you on 9/11? Drop that in the comments. Facebook, Clubhouse, YouTube, wherever you're watching this live. Even if you're watching this on replay right now, drop in, where were you on 9/11? I think on some level, I think it's key that we don't forget some of the things that are going on right now, that are happening right now. Some of the things that we take for granted. I'm not a patriotic person in the traditional patriotic way that some people are, but I do love living in America, and I do love this country. And I do recognize that some of the liberties that we have, you cannot take for granted. And you don't have this everywhere, real talk, even though I have some problems and issues with several things in this country. But where were you on 9/11? Let's reflect today. And then we have, hold on. Hall of Fame, Super Bowl winning coach, husband, father, Mike Singletary will be on the show today. Yep, that's exactly what I said. Mike Singletary. I'm a legendary football player. I'm talking about gridiron gang. I'm talking about old school NFL films player with the cold air, with the frost coming out of the mouth in the NFL music. Dun, 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 dun. That Mike Singletary will be our guest on the show today. He'll be in town this weekend for Healthy Laughter, just simply showing his support for people being screened and taking their health as a serious responsibility. And so he's supporting Healthy Laughter, and I cannot say enough how appreciative I am. Shout out to Wellsprings Family Medical Center, Dr. Damon Daniels, and his movement to get people screened with his P4P and the other opportunities and ways that you can be screened today that are painless, no reason to fear. Shout out to our other supporters and sponsors and partners, Able SC, DHEC, Prisma Healthcare. Thank you so much. I'll talk about our sponsors in just a little bit who are supporting and who have supported Healthy Laughter. Let's see who's in the room today on Clubhouse. I'll check Facebook as well. Good morning, family. Good morning, Mother Karen Earls is in the building. How you doing, Mom? Good to see you. Keisha Walker is in the house from the Gold Standard Group. One of our sponsors is in the house. What's up, sis? Ronice is in the building. Good to see you, ma'am. Carol in the house. Big Hoop. Lovely to see you, Carol. How you doing, ma'am? Kimberly. What's up, Kimberly? Kimberly will be on our panel. She'll be one of our panelists for our Healthy Talk panel coming up with Healthy Laughter as well. Roshandra. What's up, sis? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you as always. Folate with the new pick. I see you, Folate. I love it. I see you, ma'am. There it is. DC's in the building. Good morning. Jasmine, how you doing? Kimberly, good morning. Kashana, what's up, sis? Good morning. Drea, how you doing? Good to see you, ma'am. Renita, good morning. Camille, good morning. Tammy, good morning. Takesha Waller, what's up, sis? How you doing? Security holding it down. What's up? Tell Doug I say what's up. Dwayne, what's up, Dwayne? Good morning. Kimberly, how you doing? Neek, good to see you here, sis. Shalene, good morning. Marion, how you doing, Marion? Love the shades. Love the eyewear, sis. Diana, good morning to you, ma'am. And Holden, what it do, sir? Alexis, good morning. Brittany, good morning. Hey, family, we're talking about today. Where were you on 9/11? Plus, we talk with my brother, Coach Mike Singletary is in the house this morning, family. Do me a favor, share this room. Let somebody know we have a good conversation today. I'm also going to talk to Brother Mike about manhood today. Let's talk about that. Hey, family, do me a favor. Call your mama, call your daddy, call your auntie, call your uncle, call your cousin, and let them all know that the Akintunde show is about to start. Let's go.
Another track layer production, but no joke entertainment. Let's go.
Akintunde is gonna make you laugh real loud. So come on, scream it out. Akintunde is gonna make you laugh real loud. Akintunde.
Daily I shall.
It's the Akintunde Show.
Say what?
Say what?
You heard what I said.
That's right, y'all.
The Akintunde Show.
Spell it.
Akin Tunde.
Columbia, South Carolina, it's official. Healthy Laughter season has begun. The Healthy Laughter National Stand-Up Comedy Tour comes home to Columbia, South Carolina this September. There'll be comedy showcases, free health screenings, power walk exercise days, plus the beginning of production of our national stand-up comedy television series, Healthy Laughter, laughing your way to a healthier life. To get more information, log on to healthylaughtercomedy.com. That's healthylaughtercomedy.com. And a huge thank you to our sponsors, community partners, and supporters. Wellsprings Family Medicine, Woods Automotive Sales, Be Insured for Life Health Agency, Linked Up Church, P&B Promotionals, Presley Cares Mortuary, KRJ Consulting, SGRX Saves, Chris and Brenda Bethel, Jamie and Tamika Isaac Divine, Able SC. It's Healthy Laughter Homecoming, Columbia, South Carolina. It's your brother Akintunde. And until showtime, I'ma see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.
One of the best stories that I have in satisfying one of our clients happened just recently. We had a young lady that was did a family reunion for, and then they came back and placed a reorder. Now, when they placed the reorder, we could not get everything done in time. Well, we had to pull a lot of strings, make some things happen, work a little bit late, but it worked out where we were able to get the t-shirts printed and out for delivery That's the things that we do for our clients, and we want to do that for you as well.
It's easy to become frustrated when ordering branded products and apparel. But P&B Promotionals is here to help ease those frustrations with their over 800,000 promotional products and apparel. Whether screen printed t-shirts, embroidered polo shirts, stadium cups, umbrellas, or mugs, P&B Promotionals has just what you need. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. That's pbpromotionals.com, or send an email to info@pbpromotionals.net. info@pbpromotionals.net.
Imprinting the best for less. P&B Promotionals.
Hello, my name is Dr. Damon Daniels with Pathways to Wellness, a division of Wellspring Family Medicine. We're excited to be partnering with the Healthy Laughter comedy series. Our vision at Wellspring Family Medicine is to bring you the most up-to-date, cutting-edge medical tests to help you optimize your health. For instance, we have a pain-free, simple tool that takes 20 minutes to help you understand your heart disease risk. In addition, we'll be offering online courses to help you manage your diabetes, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol better. So connect with us on Facebook at Wellspring Family Medicine to take advantage of all the offerings we'll have to help you live a healthier, happier life.
It's the Akintunde Show.
Say what? Say what?
You heard what I said.
That's right, y'all.
The Akintunde Show.
Spell it.
A-K-I-N Tunde.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Ooh, oh, you know. It's Healthy Laughter Week, and I got a freestyle. I couldn't let it pass. I'm going buck wild, old school style. I'm saying it to your face. Watch as I flow. I'm about to pick up the pace. About to rap a little faster, cause I can do that like that. It's Healthy Laughter time. How's about that? Pastor Tucker might not like it, but Donna might not like it, but that's okay. I'm gonna flow. Psych it, spike the ball. Michael Singateri's coming on. About to have a good time, y'all. Today, call your mama, call your daddy, call your son, call your friend. Let them know the show is on. This some real men, huh? The Cowboys won the other day. Wow, who thought that would happen? Yay! Pastor Tucker was happy on social media. Check the last time they won a titles. Wikipedia, long time ago. No flow. They ain't had no Super Bowls in a whole long time. You show. Lost my flow. I shoulda know. Shouldn't have go. Hey, freestyle flow. You know. Hey, call your mama, call your daddy. Let them know. Dr. Tunde show is on. Let's go. Go. Call your mama, call your daddy. Let them know the Akintunde show is on. Let's go. Go. Call your mama, call your daddy. Let them know the Akintunde show is on. Let's go. Go. Call your mama, let your daddy, let them know the Akintunde is shown. Let it go. Go. Yeah. What? What? Word is born, son. Word is born, son. Huh? That's my word, yo. Huh? Huh? That's my word, yo. Huh?
It was good until it wasn't.
Tristan giving me the thumbs up. Young people don't lie. Young people don't lie.
After the Pastor Tuck. After Pastor Tuck social media, Wikipedia, it was gone.
Yeah, see?
See?
Yep, exactly.
See?
What?
Exactly.
I didn't hear what you said, Pastor Tuck. What'd you say?
See, your flow was going all right till
Yep.
you tried to come for them Cowboys.
That's what happened. Yep.
See?
Exactly.
See, what happened to your flow is the same thing that happened to them Giants on Sunday. That's exactly what happened.
Booyah.
Exactly.
Hold on.
That's exactly what happened.
Let me check the control room. Jaleel, Tristan, what do y'all think? How was that?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you had it, and
Yep.
then you started doing too much. I apologize.
I told him it
I'm
was
sorry.
right,
I'm so sorry.
right after Wikipedia.
I'm
At the
sorry.
moment he stepped in front of them Cowboys,
I'm not gonna lie to
that's
you.
exactly what happened.
He was rolling. I was like,
100% agree with you,
yeah,
Pastor Tuck.
yeah.
As soon as he said something about the Cowboys, he lost it.
Yep.
Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Power of spite.
God don't like ugly.
But he loved them Cowboys.
Black folks always like to put that on.
I don't like the Cowboys, but like enough.
Y'all done heard what Jerry told you. The reason why he put a hole in the roof is so God could watch his team play on Sunday.
Let me see what the room says. Let me see what the room says. Jacqueline Vader said, "Hello, first time here." Thank you, Jacqueline.
Oh, hi, Jacqueline.
Well, welcome to the family. We're a family here at our show.
Come on through. Come on through.
Yeah, this is not just a podcast, not just a radio show, not just a digital television series. This is a family. So welcome, my sister.
Welcome.
Well, Keisha Walker talking about don't come for my Cowboys. Oh, Keisha, you a Cowboys fan too?
Tell him,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, sister Keisha. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that you're a Cowboys fan. I apologize.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
You do realize she's called the gold standard.
Hold on.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Her name is billionaire Keisha Walker. Come on. Come on. Talk to him, Keisha. Talk to him.
That's priceless.
Man,
That's priceless.
All right.
That's good.
All right.
Now the way you just worked that was some magnanimous movements right there. Let me see if anybody on Facebook thinks I did good on the freestyle. Let me see here.
Oh boy.
Oh, nobody's giving me love this morning on the freestyle.
Nope.
Yeah, I see.
I told you you were flowing until you came for the boys. I told you.
Speaking of flowing, the dude who escaped from prison in Philadelphia is flowing. Y'all, have y'all seen this case? Okay. All right. So the past few days, a convicted murderer, escaped from prison in Pennsylvania. He's 5 feet tall. Okay.
Convicted murderer.
Convicted murderer. He escaped from prison. He's still out, to be clear. Now, whatever I'm about to say, I'm not making light of the situation because he's still out. But this joker is crafty on steroids. I need that to be clear. I need that to be clear.
I'm sorry. I felt the Jason Earls moment. You say he's 5 feet tall.
He's 5 feet tall.
So the reason why he's still on the run is because people think he's Kevin Hart.
You would not think he looks nothing like Kevin Hart.
He run around the city impersonating Kevin Hart. You know Philadelphia is Kevin City. How many 5 foot tall people are in Philadelphia? No, they just think he's Kevin. They just let it go.
He is a young Hispanic brother, and he cannot be mistaken for Kevin Hart. But let me tell you what this joker did. Mm-hmm. I wish we had the video. I should have mentioned it before, but I didn't. This joker crab walked up the wall to get out of jail.
What?
Okay. Let me explain what he did. Because of his height, he was the perfect size to position himself with his hands, the palm of his hands, on the wall. In between two walls.
And go up.
And he crab walk. Like up the wall.
Right.
And escaped from prison, like through some barbed wire fence.
What?
Yes. Jaleel.
Probably got a little small gap in between the walls like this.
Yeah.
And this joker just.
Yeah. No. Excuse me, sir.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, he had his back against the wall.
No. This joker, like, imagine someone laying horizontal, flat, okay, stomach down. And he walked up the wall. Jaleel, Tristan, locate the video. Do a screenshot of it because we don't no sound on the other computer. Locate the video.
So he was stretched out, feet to hands.
And what? And when
y'all gotta hear me. Feet to hands.
And you said stomach down.
So basically,
the wall.
The gap between the buildings was just wide enough for him to touch both buildings.
Yes, perfect.
And so he walked
perfect. Me and you could have never pulled it off.
Oh my God. Because too tall.
We're a foot taller than him. Couldn't have done it. If he was perfect, the perfect height. Yeah. And so this is the thing. Now, by no means am I rooting for this guy. Understand? Right. I'm watching this humorously because the police were saying, "Oh, we got him blocked off. He's blocked. Wow. We got him boxed in." And then he broke through the perimeter.
Oh
Now this Joker done took and shaved his mustache. They see it's cameras everywhere. I tell people don't need doing crime today. There's too many cameras out here. They getting trail cameras, doorbell cameras, like all these different cameras are catching him. And now this Joker done changed. Somehow he done stole some clothes, shaved his mustache, beard, and everything, and has a whole different look. Walk around here looking like a little 18-year-old little boy. He done stole a van and then broke through the perimeter, and now the police don't know where he is.
Wow.
Yeah.
He keep altering his appearance enough. He just staying ahead of the algorithm. Just
exactly.
Just enough.
Yeah. So this is some interesting time, y'all. Yeah. So, but yeah, that fugitive is still on the loose. So y'all need to be praying that they find that dude, because he is a convicted murderer. He has killed twice. He killed in his home country. I think I think he's from Panama, and then he stabbed his girlfriend 40 times in front of her children.
What?
Wow.
One day after he moved in with her. Go to full screen. Ladies, don't be moving these dudes into your house until you get married. Stop breaking principles.
Hold up. Stop. Hold up. Yeah. Let's. First of all, why are you moving them into your house?
Clearly.
Hey, let's be clear.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I understand there may be some extenuating circumstances, but you better make sure you heard from the Lord, because remember, but when God brought Eve to Adam already had a job and somewhere to live.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the whole thing. God ain't gonna tell you to move a man into your house that's not your husband. And that got to be a whole other word if the Lord tell you to do that. I'm just like, okay, I'm just saying that. Now y'all send your emails. Anybody else said that? Send your emails to akintunde.net. Okay. But I'm just saying, and by no means am I judging this sister or anyway, insinuating or suggesting that somehow she deserved that. Not at all. Please don't miss that. I'm just saying she moved this man to her house. One day later, he stabs her in front of her children. 40 times. That's someone that you, much less move in your house, you shouldn't even been nowhere near this guy. No. So
she probably known him for a while over social media.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be true.
Yeah. Could be.
You know, I'm going to say this because it sometimes is not even like that. You can know someone for years.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just domestic violence.
Yeah.
You can know somebody for years. So it's
That's true.
It's not, to me, it's not the fact that she moved him in. It was the fact that she didn't know him.
Yeah.
And then you know, you might know somebody for years and married them. And like what happened it's been a few months ago. The man killed the kids and the wife.
Yeah. Well, that's happened several times now.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just an evil spirit that's going on.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to make sure that you're not just following your own judgment either. That's why that's why the Bible says it's safety in the multitude of counsel.
Come on now.
You know,
because
a lot of times what people don't realize, your emotions affect your judgment.
Yeah.
We're emotional. And a lot of times when we become attached to people, when we become enamored with people, when we say, "Oh, I'm in love with this person," or even when we feel compassion towards somebody, it will compromise your judgment.
For sure.
And so other people who you know are spiritual, who have discernment, who are able to hear from God, they may see something you don't see.
Right.
They may be able to hear something you're not hearing because at that particular moment you're compromised.
Yeah. Right.
And so that's the importance of having a community of people, faith-filled community around you, so that you can double check those things and never think, "Oh, well, they just don't want to see me happy." When did they not want to see you happy before?
Yeah.
It's amazing how when people get into these relationships, and then when somebody who has always been on your team, always been rooting for you, always been trying to help you, always trying to bless you, and they say they don't condone of this particular relationship, you buy into the fact, "Oh, they just don't want to see me happy. They just don't want me to succeed. They want to see me by myself." When was that the case beforehand? But now you're allowing the enemy to tell you that they're trying to, sabotage your relationship.
Yeah, that's not how that works, y'all. Listen, you should never, ever compromise your principles based on love or emotion. God is not going to tell you to compromise your principles because you love somebody or you really want this person, you feel a certain way. Yeah, he's never going to do that. And we just got to go back to some basics on some stuff. Let me just say this right here. We got to go back to some basics in sports, I believe. And I want to talk to a brother who I'm talking about. Y'all, first of all, the fact that we have him today is a legendary moment for the Akintunde show. And I'm
excited.
And then you're talking about not just for what he did on the field, but who he was and is as a man. I think there's a lot we want to talk about with Coach Singletary in the short time that we have him. So definitely, if you are a football fan from the days of when I used to be a fan, the legendary days, I need you all to think back, consider, and remember. All right, those days, and I also need you to think about today, the difference. All right, in football today, think about the difference today. You know, I know Pastor Tuck got his Cowboys jersey on, and guess what, Pastor Tuck? I don't know if you knew this, but Coach Mike, as a player, almost actually was drafted by the Cowboys.
Ooh, boy, that would have been so nasty.
He was almost drafted by Tom Landry's Cowboys.
Wow.
Oh, that would have been so nasty.
Yeah. So he'll be here this weekend, Saturday, September 16th, as a special guest for Healthy Laughter. Of course, it's a comedy show. There are free health screenings provided by Wellsprings Family Medicine, provided by Prisma Healthcare, Able SC, and DHEC, as well as some great other vendors and other folks who will be in the house, who will be right outside of our studios in the parking lot, enjoying and celebrating healthy laughter, laughing your way to a healthier life. Before I say this, hold on, let me stop the music. Outside of sports, outside of playing, outside of being a coach, Coach Mike Singletary is a huge proponent of people getting screened for any type of health disparity or any concern that you have in your body. He's a big proponent of that, and I'm going to have him to share some stories. Because even in the video that he sent to us, he talked about how even some of his own siblings could have possibly been saved based on a health screening and didn't have to die as early. And so I appreciate his candor and him sharing that. But without further ado, I need to bring to the Akintunde show family for the very first time, and hopefully not the last, a legendary NFL Hall of Famer, the only NFL Hall of Famer to have his wife to introduce him. Welcome to the show for the very first time, player Coach Mike Singletary. Good morning, sir.
Hello. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
We better now that you're here, sir. How you doing, sir?
I'm
Doing
excited.
very well.
Wow. Pastor Tuck, this is an amazing moment right here. Donna.
Yes, this is an amazing moment.
Is an amazing moment right here.
Yes.
Welcome to the show,
Man.
sir.
This is Samurai Mike in the building.
That's right.
Samurai Mike in the building. Or the Monsters of the Midway, boy. This is it right here.
Yeah. I'm talking about back in the day when an NFL film, like it carried a whole lot of weight.
It sure
You
did.
know, when you would watch those games and that beat dun 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 dun, and that classic NFL voiceover guy, it was like it was a cold day in Chicago.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, Jaleel, Chris, and them, they don't even understand what that 80s Bears defense was. The Monsters of the Midway. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Boy. And Mike Singletary was the heart of that defense, boy. He was with reckless abandon.
He was the leader.
Wow.
He called the shots for the defense. He was
The middle linebacker, yo.
Man.
What?
I love this particular film that I saw where you were saying you were saying, this is a good day right here, baby. This is a good day. Like he's yelling to the quarterback. This is gonna be a good day right here. I like it like this, baby. Before he sacks the quarterback. First of all, welcome to the show again. Thank you, sir. And and talk about, if you could, just a little bit about the fact that you almost went to the Cowboys. Pastor Tuck didn't know that, and I purposely didn't tell him that when I talked to him earlier. Because I want to tell him that on camera.
Pastor Tuck starts sweating. He starts sweating.
Oh, Jesus.
He just starts sweating. Look,
Jesus.
Because Coach Mike, you were a Cowboys fan as a young person growing up.
It is the reason why I'm wearing these glasses. Because, as a Pentecostal, growing up in a Pentecostal home, my father was a Pentecostal pastor. So we were not allowed to participate in sports or watch sports. So I had to turn the television on and just be about 5 inches from the screen watching it.
Wow.
And it just so happened that I loved the game. I loved Roger Staubach. That was my guy. And he was one of my heroes, he and Willie Lanier, when I was growing up.
Wow. So, and I heard that the story, the legend has it that the reason they didn't pick you is because they said that you were not tall enough. What was your response to that? It's because you're not short guy by no stretch of the word.
he became a Hall of Famer. That was his response.
That's his response right there.
That was his response.
Well, I told Gil Brandt. God bless his heart, just passed away a few days ago. But I told Gil Brandt, I said, I'm tall enough to get the job done.
Right.
And I said, you guys will make a mistake if you pass me by.
Yeah.
And he said, well, you just don't quite measure. We need our linebackers to be at least 6 feet. We're going to draft you early. And so I said, okay, well, I'll see you. And so from that time until this time, even every time I see Gil Brandt, I said, am I tall enough now?
Yeah. I'm sure Danny White was not happy about that decision.
Wow. At
least a couple of times a year, at least once a year, Danny White was not happy about that decision.
Yes.
Your matriculation through football, I thought was very interesting. One thing I got to ask you about up top. And particularly because, we're all believers here and we talk a lot about faith and goals and believing God to see the full manifestation of what he placed us to be. You at 12 years old created a vision statement for yourself. Talk about that and what that was as a 12-year-old to literally write down what you wanted to accomplish in life. And then you actually saw it come to pass. How did you come to that at 12 years old?
Well, I think there was so much trauma in my life growing up, being the last of 10 kids and your dad being a Pentecostal pastor, but not really living it. And he and mom fighting. And I just saw a lot of frustration, a lot of missed dreams and things like that. And by the time I was 12 years old, after my dad walked away and my brother was killed in an automobile accident that same year, 6 months later, I had basically given up and just kind of decided in my life that, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter anyway. Life is not fair. Forget it. And at that time, mom walked in the kitchen and said, son, sit down. I want to talk to you about this thing called life. And she challenged me and asked me if I could be the man of the house. And at that time, my whole life changed. And for the first time in my life, I had a reason. I had a purpose. And there was a call on me. And I walked in my room, and these are things that I had thought about. I was listening to tapes about being able to learn how to envision yourself being great. The amazing results of positive thinking. I was listening to these tapes. I was looking at books about being everything that you believe God called you to be. And that day, it all came into my mind and my heart. And I just began to write out what was in me. And that was the vision. And it was to find a way to get a scholarship to go to college, get my degree, in which I'd be the first in my family to do so, become an All-American, get drafted and go to the NFL, buy my mom a house and take care of her for the rest of her life, become an All-Pro, go to the Super Bowl and own my own business. That was my vision statement. And
when I saw that, I said, what an amazing testimony for a young man, a young child, a young black boy at that. It was even more of an accomplishment for you because you weren't even allowed to play sports. Well, your siblings were not allowed to play sports, and so how did that work out? Where finally, number 10, mom and dad decided to allow you to actually play organized sports.
Well, actually, it was because my mom and dad divorced, and I began to beg my mom to let me play. And when I wrote that vision statement out, I wasn't even on the team yet. I was still in the process of asking my mom to let me play. So after I wore it down about for a week, just wearing it down every day, she finally said, "Son, look, this is the dumbest game I've ever seen. But if you really want to play it and you promise me that you'll not get hurt, I'll let you play."
Wow.
And that was the beginning. I went out for the team that day.
Wow. What an amazing testimony. Pastor Tuck and Donna, I know y'all got some questions.
I wanted to know, you were talking about being a 12-year-old and the pressure. Like we see our 12-year-olds now, like some of them can't even tie their shoes and chew gum at the same time. But your mother said you're the man of the house. What did that put pressure on you to write your vision statement, to want to have these dreams? What did that do to you in your 12-year-old mind when your mom said you're the man of the house?
It's interesting. I'm writing a book right now about that vision, and it is being able to help young people today, as well as adults, be able to be called to a purpose. I believe that there's a light when we're conceived. I believe there's a light inside of each and every one of us that is turned on at that time. And it's up to us to begin to see what's inside of us first before we can ever really begin to look outside of us. And so that light that was in me for the first time when my mom challenged me to think that she believed I could do it. Oh, I know I can do this. So to me, it was the first day that light was turned on inside of me before I could begin to see anything outside of me. And so I believe there are a lot of young people walking around today and the light is just dim. They can't see it and there's no call on them. This is what we believe they're capable of. This is all they can do anyway. So, go ahead and get the gun, go ahead and shoot, go ahead and stab, do whatever. But don't answer that call on your life. And I believe God has a call on each and every one of us, and it's up to us to find that light for ourselves and bring it to fruition.
Wow.
That was good.
I'm telling you, I've admired you ever since you played. And one of the things I always saw about you, you always looked like you were a man about business. Even back when you were playing, you didn't look like you played around much. I mean, you didn't look like some of the guys, even your contemporaries during those days. You see football players, they look like they all about flash, about playing. You always look like you about business. Does that come from some of the tragedies, like you talk about the things going on in your family? Does that come from your spiritual upbringing, or does that just come from a drive that you had that I got to do this, I got to go all the way, I got to complete this vision? Where did that come from? Because when I see you coaching, I've always said I wanted him to coach the Dallas Cowboys, because it's like, this guy right here, he don't play around. He about business. And this is the kind of discipline that you need when you're coaching these kind of personalities, these kind of men. And I've always respected that about you. And I saw that in you even when you were playing. And you don't see that in a lot of players.
Yeah.
I think when you have a vision, you have a place, a destination to get to. And you recognize and realize that every day that you're given another 24 hours, you're on the clock. Now, understand, I love to laugh. There's nobody that loves to laugh, but it has its place.
Right.
When you really sit down at any point in time, if I turn on the television, somebody just died somewhere. Somebody just got shot. Somebody just got another hit and run. So I know there's all kind of stuff going on. So for me, I'm so thankful for this time that God has given me today. I'm not going to waste. I'm going to get my work done, and then I can laugh and do whatever afterwards. But I got to make sure that I am accountable to get my job done today. I got to get better today.
Right. You're one of the players who have been a few. You think it kind of, you might take that for granted. A lot of times, people who just watch sports or either observe sports casually, but you're one of the few players to have been a successful player and then to become a coach. And it's so that what do you think that was that catalyst, or what was the deciding factor in you being able to transition to coaching? And you weren't just a successful player; you got a Super Bowl ring. You know what I'm saying? There's and where a lot of times, a lot of coaches weren't always the most successful players. You know what I'm saying? So, and not in all cases. So, what do you think that catalyst or that determining factor for you that allowed you to be able to achieve and be able to become a coach as well?
Well, it's interesting. The thing that I learned is, as a player, you can be focused. You can have a vision. You can be serious. You can be, but when you become a coach, it's a little bit different. And I think, particularly as African American coaches, I think we have there's a different level that different boxes that you have to check off in order to have some success. And it's just a matter of being given the time to kind of figure out, this is what I need to do. This is how I need to do it. And of course, this is why I need to do it that way. But for me, I'm very thankful to have coached, and don't know if I'll ever do it again, but we'll see. But I just think that it was important for me to make sure that as a coach, that I strive for the same excellence as I did as a player.
Amen. Two things I want to make sure I get in, because I know our time is tight with you, but two things I want to talk about. I want to talk about health and your focus on wellness of Americans, folks, good people everywhere, taking care of their health and taking those preventive measures to live as long as God has for us. But I also want to talk to you about manhood. You in many ways are a throwback, and you came up in a tough time. You came up scrappy. I remember watching some footage where you, of course, came up under Buddy Ryan, and who was not easy on you at all, right?
Understatement.
It's an understatement. Okay, but so I want to talk about that today, because a lot of times I think, do you agree with the tactics, right? If in hindsight, in retrospect, do you agree with the tactics? And because I know you were also a tough coach as well. Like you put a good player out the game. It wasn't the fact that he was injured. It wasn't the fact that something was going on. You like, you know what? Go to the locker room. And that was like one of them football moments when you did that. But do you think today, in terms of manhood today, developing manhood, developing young men, do you agree with some of that old school roughness and tactics that you came up under? And or do you think we need more of that today in terms of raising and maturing, building men into being successful, capable, responsible contributors to society?
I think it has its place. I think for me, obviously I do some things differently, but when I think about coaching, one of the biggest reasons that I coach was really because I realized that there were so many fatherless young men. As a matter of fact, that's why football started it. I think Father Flanagan started the whole game to get kids off the street and help them understand teamwork, working together.
Wow.
So when you think about football today, I love the fact that guys can get paid the way they're getting paid. I love the fact that it affords them to live the American dream and then some. But at the end of the day, if as a coach, if I am not making sure that these young men under my guide are getting better when they walk away from this game, if they have money, if they have accolades and all those other things, but they don't know how to do life, then I fail. I don't care how many Super Bowl rings, all these other things. If they don't know how to be a man, if they don't know how to be a father, if they don't know how to fit into this society and navigate their families, then I have failed.
Wow.
That's my job as a coach. That's how I see it.
Wow. Do you think a lot of coaches today still see it that way?
Well, the way the game is, as I had said before, I understand that, you got to win. I understand that that's just the way it is. That's the time in which you have. But there are a lot of great coaches like a Tom Landry that never would have had the opportunity, like a Bill Walsh that didn't, some of those guys didn't win a game 1 year or 2 years.
Wow.
And then But they going through that failure, going through those setbacks, going through all of that stuff allowed them to learn and be able to pick themselves up and say, this is the way we're going to do it. You got to be able to work through something. And today's time, I feel bad for a lot of coaches because we don't have the time. And by the time you figure it out, you're out. And so, that's a very, very tough thing to be able to navigate, to be able to do it right.
And one more manhood question, and Don and Pastor Suck, if y'all got a quick one, hop in here on as well.
Okay.
One thing you displayed, you said one of the assistant coaches came up to you when Buddy Ryan was being hard on you, and he said he just wants you to say yes, sir, and then get the job done, and you were able to pull that off. My concern today is that a lot of times in culture, particularly when you're talking about manhood, that a lot of times people quit or check out at that moment that you say, okay, all right, I get it. Or, okay, I'm not even cool with the way he talks to me, but dog it, I'm going to do my job and push on, and then you become a Hall of Fame player, you win a Super Bowl. I feel as though today, a lot of times, some men can't push past that point to continue on and get the job done. Why do you think that is the case?
Well, I believe early on, unfortunately, the coach is left with doing a very difficult job because so many fathers have abdicated their responsibilities. So a kid doesn't understand. I was able to go through my college coach and Buddy Ryan because I had a dad that was really tough on me. And so when I saw my college coach, when I saw Buddy Ryan, it was tough, man. It took it up to another level. But when I sit down and really look at my life and just take note of my life, all of the people that really, really invested in me, that really made a difference in my life, those were the people that I did not like. I hated them early on.
Wow.
Whether they were coaches, whether they were men, I did not like them until about 10 or 15 years later. And I go, oh, man, I had an epiphany.
Wow.
Those people are the reason that I'm here. That I have the fabric to make it through some of these times that people can't sit you down and talk to you about. You just got to go through them. But if you don't have that, where somebody told you, get over there and be quiet, go over there and sit down, learn this. No, you're not playing today. Those kinds of things, those make you aware of my inadequacies and how much further I need to go before I've arrived. Not the money, not the accolades, but the things that are going on inside me that makes me a man.
Good Lord. See, okay, I literally was just talking about this on Saturday night on my during my show in North Carolina. I said, moms in here today, I said, if you got a son playing football and he's not getting playing time, don't step to the coach after the game and tell the coach, you need to play my son. My son hadn't played. I said, let your son ride the pine, because riding that pine prepares you to do what you need to do to get on the field, and then do what you did, which when Buddy Ryan took you out of the game, one game, and didn't put you back in, like he took you out early and you never went back in. And they said, when you got back on the field, oh, it was no doubt. who was going to be the middle linebacker. They were like, whoa. But I think if there was a mom on the side of the field saying, you need to let my son play, my son, his uniform is clean every game, that you would not have become the man who you actually became as a player.
Absolutely. Every one of those men and women in my life, I've had to go back and I've had the privilege to say, thank you so much for investing in me. And the people at that time that I thought were really helping me were saying, oh, you know what? It's okay. You're all right. I mean, you're going to make it. It was like those were the people that were hurting me. They were sabotaging me because they were making it okay for me to have the excuses in my life. And they felt that I couldn't rise any higher than I was. Wow. But so when I look at that, it's amazing how it turns when you become a man and really see, if I had somebody stand up to me and just tell me, go over there and sit down and I will show you the way. That's the thing that we need today. Just not a whole lot of talk, not a whole lot of, but a whole lot of walk.
Amen. My God. Listen, you let me say this publicly, and I'm going to tell you again on Saturday. Thank you again for your support of Healthy Laughter, because you didn't have to do it, but you're supporting and coming in and really allowing your likeness, who you are, and what you've achieved in life to be utilized to help people get screened. Of course, we have 3 entities that'll be on site on Saturday doing giving free health screenings. Nobody's going to ask you for a copay or insurance card or what's your Medicaid or Medicare status. None of those questions will be asked. It'll be simply sit down, fill out this form, and then take this, receive this screening. Talk about, please, Coach, your commitment and your desire to see people get the care, the health care that oftentimes we don't get, and then particularly people of color, and then marginalized people of color. Talk about that, your commitment to getting folks screening and taking the responsibility for their health care.
Well, I think that, when I retired and from playing the game, there were a lot of my teammates that just said, hey, you know what? I don't have to go out there and run. I don't have to do this. So I'm going to do what I want to do. And I remember even some of my siblings, going to get checked out, coming back, and the doctors told them, hey, if you keep eating like this, you're going to be a diabetic. If you keep doing this, you're going to have hypertension. If you keep doing this, you're not going to make it. Keep smoking, you're not going to. So it's kind of like, and particularly for people that look like us, and particularly the men, it is, we're living our lives, and we don't understand that there are a lot of things internally that are going on that we don't know about, and it's not helping us. A lot of people in underserved, underprivileged neighborhoods, they got a lot of trauma.
Yes.
And they don't know that it's been passed down generationally.
Right.
So we're a walking time bomb. And, we feel okay. Every now and then we may have some tightness in our chest or whatever, but it passes by. Every now and then there's something that we feel that it just doesn't feel right, but it passes by. And we continue to live without knowing that next month you're going to have a heart attack. Next month you're going to have a stroke. And you're walking around with those things and you're not okay. And you think you're okay. Wow. And so for me, being able to, there's no greater thing for me to do than to go and get myself checked out and to make sure, in fact, when we're not doing that, we're selfish because we are leaders of our home. We have kids, we have grandkids that love us.
Yes.
And when we are gone, it's too late. And there's so much knowledge and so much wisdom and so much that you have to pass on that you don't get to pass on. And so for me, it's just a matter of being enlightened, knowing that I'm walking around and not only do I look good, my clothes look good.
Come on,
but
sir.
man, from the inside out, I feel good.
Yeah.
To me, that's where we want to go.
Yeah. Yes, and you got 7 children. I'm in the big kids, a big family category with you. I have 5, and so you got 7 kids. And how many grandkids do you have?
13.
Wow! All right, congratulations on that, sir. Right. Well, y'all listen. Coach Mike will be in the house this Saturday, September 16th, for Healthy Laughter, laughing your way to a healthier life. And there'll be a full comedy showcase. DJ Geechee Boy will be out in the parking lot on the 1s and 2s. We'll have the tent set up, free health screenings. Literally, like I said, I've been out there yesterday, last week, pounding the pavement. I'm going to be out there today, literally walking the neighborhood, walking some of the complexes over here around the studio, letting folks know to come out, have a good time, taste some healthy cuisine, some healthy foods, and then get a chance to see and witness someone who cares enough about you to put their not just talk about it, but to be about it and show up. I thank you so much. A huge shout out to Dr. Damon Daniels and Wellsprings Family Medicine, who made the connection with Coach Mike. He said, you know what? He said, I'm going to see if I can get Mike Singletary to come in and support this event. He said he has a big heart for people getting screened and healthcare. He said, I'm going to see. He said, I can't promise it. He said, but I'm going to see. And Dr. Daniels delivered. Thank you, sir, for making this connection. And we excited to see you on Saturday. Pastor Tuck, Donna, anything y'all want to say to our dear brother before we release him to the rest of his day?
First, I want to jump in real quick, Pastor Tuck, because I know you got something real good. Okay, but Dallas. But my cousin is Barney Chavis, played for the Broncos around the same time that you were playing. Was he a beast? That was my first question. And my second question is, I play fantasy football. I have Justin Fields. Justin Fields is my quarterback, and I got DJ Moore. Can the Bears win this year? Can they win?
Oh wow! Yes, he was a beast. Davis was a beast. Can the Bears win this year? Hopefully, what happened the other day, they can learn from it and get better. Mm-hmm. I really like Justin Fields, and I hope they set him up for failure. To be a success.
Yes, me too.
Forward. I hope they did that this offseason.
Wow!
Me too.
Wow! Go ahead, Pastor Tuck.
I want to know what you think about Michael Parsons and those that next level doomsday Cowboys defense they got going on out there.
Here we go with the Cowboys.
And what do you think about how Coach Prime is doing out in Denver?
Oh, that's good.
Yes,
that's good.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm excited about what the Cowboys were able to do to the other day. I didn't see the game. I was traveling, but I was shocked when I heard the score. But I just I think the Cowboys have something special if they can pull it together and avoid some injuries. Hopefully they can make some things happen. Hopefully they can make some noise at the end of the year. Coach Prime, I really like Dion. I really like what he's doing, and he's got some talent, and he's got some speed. He's got some playmakers. So I think that a lot of people may not like the way he did things, but I really believe that he did what he had to do in order to be doing some of the things that he's doing now, and I wish him nothing but the best.
Wow. Well, Coach, we got to have you back on the show at some point. There's a lot more I want to talk to you about. I didn't really get a chance to dig in on your faith, and definitely as much as I would like to. Clearly, your life, you lived your faith out in your life, and it shows. And so, congratulations on a wonderful journey that's continuing on. I hope you get another coaching job. That would be great to see. And listen, I tell you what, if you get another coaching job, wherever you're coaching at, I'm going to block the schedule out and make sure I'm there for the first game. I can only imagine what that would be amazing and exciting, and I really hope you are there.
Absolutely.
But if you want to see him here this Saturday for Healthy Laughter, he will be coming out and lending his support. Coach, NFL Hall of Famer, Super Bowl winner, Mike Singletary. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for your time, and tell your lovely wife and your family we thank you for helping us to facilitate this interview, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
You do the same, sir.
Samurai Mike.
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Legendary moments on the Ox
Yes,
Show, y'all.
yes.
And listen, y'all, thank you again to our sponsors again that made this happen, that supported us in Healthy Laughter. Again, Wellsprings Family Medicine, Dr. Damon Dames, my own personal physician, for making that connection right there. P&B Promotionals, Pelham and Brenda Mice, thank y'all so much. East SGRX Saves, which is a wonderful app that you can learn more about and find out how you can utilize that to improve your own medical care, y'all. Woods Automotive Sale, thank you, Brother Lester. Chris and Brenda Bethel, thank you for the support early on. Thank you to Presley Cares Mortuary Service. You want to try to prevent having to see Brother Presley as long as you possibly can, but if you do,
well, you won't see him.
you
won't see him.
You won't see him, but you can. You can go down there and plan. You can go down there now, and you can see him. You go plan your service and tell me exactly how you want it done. Be insured for life. My sister Peggy Rose, thank you so much. Prisma Healthcare, Able SC, DHEC for providing the amazing screenings that we will have at no charge. Tamika and Jamie Isaac Divine, thank y'all so much. KRJ Consulting, thank you, Sister Karen, for supporting Healthy Laughter and all of our sponsors. Listen, if I missed it, I will definitely get you in on the next one. Listen, y'all, next week on the 23rd, we're filming the first 4 episodes of the Healthy Laughter television series. I'll tell you more about that. This has been a wonderful and amazing journey, and we're learning more. I should have told Brother Coach Mike that Central City Productions is based in Chicago, so right at home in his city. Listen, fam, we got to get up out of here and pay some bills. We'll be right back, so don't y'all move. We're gonna continue the conversation. Where were you on 9/11? Plus any else that Pastor Tuck and Donna has, any other information. And Jaleel, did you find the video of dude crawling up that wall? Did you find the video? Okay, he didn't find it. Okay, we got to find it.
I think Miguel Lloyd put it in the comments on Facebook.
Did he really? Okay.
Yeah, he said he talked about that on the show yesterday.
Wow. Okay. See, Miguel always on it. Miguel Lloyd, Life Full Circle Radio. Good to see you in the house today, sir. Listen, family, we'll be right back. Let's pay some bills. This is the Akintunde Show, family. Columbia, South Carolina, it's official. Healthy Laughter season has begun. The Healthy Laughter National Stand-Up Comedy Tour comes home to Columbia, South Carolina this September. There'll be comedy showcases, free health screenings, power walk exercise days, plus the beginning of production of our national stand-up comedy television series, Healthy Laughter, laughing your way to a healthier life. To get more information, log on to healthylaughtercomedy.com. That's healthylaughtercomedy.com. And a huge thank you to our sponsors, community partners, and supporters. Wellsprings Family Medicine, Woods Automotive Sales, Be Insured for Life Health Agency, Linked Up Church, P&B Promotionals, Presley Cares Mortuary, KRJ Consulting, SGRX Saves, Chris and Brenda Bethel, Jamie and Tamika Isaac Divine, Able SC. It's Healthy Laughter Homecoming, Columbia, South Carolina. It's your brother Akintunde. And until showtime, I'ma see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.
One of the best stories that I have in satisfying one of our clients happened just recently. We had a young lady that did a family reunion for, and then they came back and placed a reorder. Now, when they placed the reorder, we could not get everything done in time. Well, we had to pull a lot of strings, make some things happen, work a little bit late, but it worked out where we were able to get the t-shirts printed and out for delivery. That's the things that we do for our clients, and we want to do that for you as well.
It's easy to become frustrated when ordering branded products and apparel, but P&B Promotionals is here to help ease those frustrations with their over 800,000 promotional products and apparel. Whether screen printed t-shirts, embroidered polo shirts, stadium cups, umbrellas, or mugs, P&B Promotionals has just what you need. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. That's pbpromotionals.com, or send an email to info@pbpromotionals.net. info@pbpromotionals.net.
Imprinting the best for less. P&B Promotionals.
At my church, we help people get better by teaching them how the word works. And we want to make sure there is no excuse not to get the word. It's our goal to make all of our ministries accessible on every smartphone, tablet, PC, and television connected to the internet. So whether you're a man who needs some wisdom, a woman who needs some encouragement, or a couple who needs guidance, the My Church channel has just what you need. Simply search for the My Church channel on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, or visit mychurchchannel.org. You can also download the My Church on the Go app from Apple or Google Play App Store. Constantly on the move? Check out the Word at My Church podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Or simply download the Word at My Church skill on your Alexa-enabled device. But whatever you do, make sure to stay connected. See you soon.
Church, my church.
Stop walking in front of the prophet.
I just want to say that. So
you about to get past them to come for you. I done told you.
Inside joke. Inside joke. Oh, I want to say that so bad. My church. We're talking my church, your church, my church. Oh my God. Listen, y'all. Go to your smart TV device and add the My Church channel on Roku. So I was at a community event sponsored by Nada Rutherford, our coroner here in Columbia, South Carolina, Richland County coroner. And she had a wonderful event. It's amazing, the coroner here in Columbia does a lot of work to make people live longer. And Eunice and I were just like talking about that. Like, she's always putting on either some type of event that helps people to live longer, stronger, healthier lives. And she had a great community event right around the corner from us over at Columbia College. And it was a great meeting. Several folks, Pastor and Senator Darrell Jackson was in the house. The deputy coroner was in the house. And I met some great folks over there. But it was just a great event, and she does a lot, and she's one of the supporters of Healthy Laughter that's coming up on this weekend. Again, September 16th. Get more information, log on to healthylaughtercomedy.com and get more information about the events coming up this weekend. Again, Mike Singletary will be in the house. We got a great comedy lineup. Comedians are coming from all over. Next week, it is the official filming of the first 4 episodes of our Healthy Laughter television series. And we are super excited. Huge shout out to my brother Chet Brewster, who came through yesterday and spent the majority of the day with me here, just kind of pre-producing. We did a site visit to the second studio that we're going to utilize to film the series, and this is an amazing process. I really got to begin to bring the audience in on this journey, the faith journey, the process journey, learning different things, even skills that I had, or skills that I didn't realize that I needed and had to increase and really grow in. It's a wonderful process and a wonderful journey. But I will be sharing more of that. Again, get more information, log on to healthylaughtercomedy.com. Healthylaughtercomedy.com. If you just tuned in, you missed a great interview with Coach Mike Singletary, Hall of Fame player, husband, father of 7, played 12 years in the NFL, Donna. Mm-hmm. Pastor Tuck. And Donna, I meant to ask him this, but what is the normal career span for an NFL player?
Well, average is about 4 years.
3.3 years.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I said. It's about 4 years for the average. Like I said, the guy I went to high school with played middle linebacker for the Cowboys back in the 90s. He played for 11 years. He got 3 Super Bowl rings.
Wow.
But like I said, it's not common for guys to get to play that long, to have that kind of longevity. You got to be exceptional.
Yeah.
To make it that long.
That's literally 300% longer than the average player. Coach Mike plays 12 years, and with little injuries. Now real quick, I'll say this real quick. Then I want to play. Jaleel, you got the clip, right? Okay, Jaleel got the clip of that dude crab walk up that wall. Y'all gotta see this. Listen, share the room right now. Share it if you have it. If you're on Clubhouse, just open up your Facebook app and then or YouTube. Or open up My Church on your TV and so you can see the Joker crab walk up this wall. Quite casually. But I will say this, Pastor Tuck and Don, I was talking about the fact that those players back in the day, them jokers will be playing injured.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about a whole half a broke leg and he's like, just wrap it up. I'm gonna finish the game or I'm gonna finish the season. We in the playoffs. We got 2 more games. But man, you got a broke arm. Man, I'm good. Wrap it up. Give me, it was a whole different attitude back then for way less money.
Give me a shot.
You would break your finger and they would tell you, you got to come out the game, and they said either you gonna lose your finger. Oh yeah, they be like, cut it off.
Where's the knife? Cut it off, coach. Cut off my finger now. I'm not coming out.
That was a whole different breed.
Yeah. You got dudes that are literally walking around with half fingers because they like, I ain't coming out this game.
You're like, hey bro, it was fourth quarter, 1978, and we were down by 4.
Got 2 fingers missing.
And I told the team doc, I told the trainer to cut my finger off and just wrap it up and keep it moving. So, oh my God,
Johnny No Thumb.
It was a whole different ball game back then.
It was
okay.
different.
So then I'm gonna play this with one clip and then we're gonna go to the topic. Where were you on 9/11? Okay. I want to know where Don and Pastor Tuck was on 9/11. Of course, Tristan wasn't born. Jaleel was in the car with me as I sped back to the house. But before we get to that, I'm gonna read some of y'all comments. So y'all got some dope comments. Play that clip of old boy. I don't even know his name. Still an escape fugitive.
Spider-Man.
Old boy is the technical term. For anybody you don't know who they are, that is actually a technical term. Y'all know that, though.
It is, oh boy.
Hey, where old boy? Especially
when it's got some foolishness associated
attached
with it.
to it, right? Yep. Oh boy.
Did you see old boy? Old boy tripping.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so true.
That is the name.
That's the official.
That is a technical term. Please do not just graze past that.
That's funny. We got to look at old boy crawling up that wall. This is amazing foolishness right here. Amazing. Please go ahead, Julia. Run that beautiful bean footage, please. Dude.
Yo, my man just like
dude.
Out of sight that quick.
Dude, just that quick. Play that again. Look how fast he did it. What is that like? What is that? Is that even 5 seconds? Run that again. He looked back.
My man to try this.
Oh yeah.
He was measuring that. He been watching this for
me. Oh yeah. He like, oh yeah, here we go. Boom.
There you go.
He watching as he's crawling. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But the setup for this is so smooth though. Jesus. All you do is stand there one day and just kind of act like you stretching, and you be like, yo, just stretching my arms, my leg out. Be like, yo, okay.
But
that is crazy.
Okay.
You're talking about, but he's moving against gravity. He's moving up, and he casually did that.
But you got to understand, my man know his strength, and my man just happened to walk through there one day like, and so one day he gets to kind of stand there and pause for a minute.
Yeah.
And ain't nothing going on, Him and the homies might have been standing there for a minute. My man just kind of act like everybody just chilling, ain't nothing going on. You just reach out, I'm just stretching my hammy out, you know what I'm saying?
You know what?
I could do this.
Like, right. And then he kind of watch the activity level. Ain't nobody around here about this time.
Well, it was somebody around. But what it is the guard who was in the tower that's supposed to be watching that location, he got fired. Guess why? Tell me why Oxio
sleeping
team.
on the job.
On his phone.
On his phone. He was on his phone. He was on his phone.
I knew that's what it was.
The Joker was on his phone. Hold on.
Daily I
shall not be on your phone.
Yep.
Yeah, he was on his phone, and because he was distracted, old boy got out. And now this joke, and based on the comments here, so let me read some of the comments here.
How did he get out though? I mean, that you have the two walls there, but he shimmied up the wall, he crabbed up the wall, and he got to the top. And then you kind of stretched out.
See,
you kind of stretched out.
Donna, once you depending on how that building is built, once you up in them rafters, man, that building go anywhere. He's short. He's 5 foot, so he can.
He probably got somebody to grab hold to once you get up to the top. And he got something to grab hold to at that point.
And then he made it through the barbed wire fence, and it looked like on the pictures he didn't get halfway cut.
Wow.
So, I mean, you can say what you want to say about the Joker. The Joker is highly intelligent, but for him to map that out and to math that out and follow it through, and that's pretty doggone. That's a significant achievement. However, the Joker needed to be caught. I pray that he gets caught because clearly he's a terrible individual and don't need to be out here on these streets.
Totally random, but totally attached. Have you ever seen the show Prison Break?
Yeah, I've never seen Prison Break. Never have.
Oh my God, that is like the best show ever.
Wow.
That is the best show ever.
I've seen it. Never watched it.
The concept of that show is like ridiculous.
Isn't it like the brother's a warden or something like that,
his brother gets convicted of a crime and he's actually innocent,
right?
But he's about to be put to death for something he didn't do.
Wow!
And so old boy is an engineer.
Old boy,
and he ends up, old boy is an engineer, and so he actually works for a company as a consultant to get all of the plans and stuff for the prison, and he makes this elaborate plan and then gets arrested and then gets planned to get transferred into the prison to break his brother out.
Yep.
Wow.
Because he got a timeline. I mean, everything he done planned everything out to the nth degree.
Jesus.
And just watching this plan unfold, this dude is like the genius on steroids.
Wow. Old boy.
old boy is, I mean, super genius. But to see how he did it,
wow!
Man,
I got to watch it. Speaking of old boy, Tristan got something to say. Old boy got something to say. What's up, Tristan?
Oh boy!
So
what's up, old boy?
In searching for the video, unfortunately, I think he may be armed now.
I saw that in the comments here. Somebody said, let me go back up here. Ashley Bailey said they just announced in a press conference that he stole someone's rifle and shoes in his arm now.
Oh, Lord.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, now I'm gonna tell you right now, a couple of people gonna lose their job.
Where was this at?
Pennsylvania.
In Philadelphia?
Pennsylvania. I don't know exactly where in Pennsylvania, but one of those Pennsylvania state prison.
Old boy better head north. He better not head to Virginia. I can tell you that. Old boy don't want this smoke down here.
I tell you what. The police and the marshals, everybody who's involved, all the federal agencies who were involved, they were saying that it was the radius. They were saying, "Oh, we got him here," and then the radius it's just getting smaller. Okay, we got him here. Now it's down to 2 miles, a 2 mile radius. And they thought they had it. And then they found that video of this Joker way outside of their radius. New clothes, new appearance, got a vehicle. He ditched the vehicle. So he dumped the vehicle. And now I don't know whether he's on foot or what. And then he done been in 2 people's houses.
Oh, wow.
He done been inside 2 people's house. He wilding, y'all. This a wild dude right here. Yeah.
Well, all I can tell you, he much better off up above DC, because down below DC, the gun laws are a lot more in favor of the private citizen.
Much more lax.
So, might not want to come down here, because you roll up in the wrong house down here, they will come pick you up, buddy.
And I will say this to you: you need to make sure if you do wild stuff, if you do criminal activity, this ain't a good time, particularly if you in the northern states, for you to be doing anything, because folks is on edge. Like people really on edge. Like real talk, I saw some video and I see them people scared, and rightfully so, because clearly the police can't catch this dude as of yet, and they're not doing their job. Whatever they thought they was doing, it didn't mean nothing. Let's get into this conversation. You know, of course, all of us are old enough to remember we were all adults when 9/11 took place 22 years ago, and yesterday was the day that the country paused and commemorates 9/11, because it was 9/11 2023. Man, Donna, Pastor Tuck, Donna, go first. Where were you on 9/11 when it happened? What kind of where you? What was your state of mind? I'm coming to y'all comments too.
Well, I was in South Carolina. We had moved to Aiken, South Carolina from New Jersey, as my father had previously passed the year before. So we were. I had moved to Aiken, South Carolina, and I was in my mom's room. She was laying down, and it was early in the morning, like 8:30 around there, and so my mom was looking at TV, and she was saying, "Oh, what was that?" And then I heard something. I came in her room to see what was going on. She had the TV on, and I was like, "What is that? Is that?" And we're looking like, what is that? Is that like a movie or something? What's going on? And so Jenna comes in, and we are watching it, and then just minutes later, the second one hit, and we're like, oh wow! And we are from New York, so it was. It was like, what is going on?
Wow.
And my aunt had that lives in Orangeburg, one that passed earlier. She she was living in, she had gone up to New York for a visit and was supposed to go to New York that day to the city.
Got it.
So we are calling, where's Aunt Janet? Where's Aunt Janet? So what's going on up there? So, we immediately trying to get in contact with family and trying to find out how everybody was and what was going on, because it was just like, what is this?
Were you of the mindset that this was not going to be just a one-off situation? Did you have like that this is the world coming to the end, or America is getting attacked, or were you kind of like, what is this? This will pass quick. Like, what was your mindset concerning it?
Well, you just didn't know. It was just like, what is going, first it's like, it's so jarring and to see that, because, like you said before, we have not had any active terrorism on American soil since Pearl Harbor.
From outside of the country.
Yeah. So we're like, what is this?
Yeah.
And like I said at first, we just thought it was a movie or a show, or somebody was doing
or
something
accident.
crazy, whatever. And then then it turned to, oh, was an accident? Something happened. Somebody, oh my gosh! And then the second one here was like, oh no, what is really going on? And then as the minutes progress, you hear what's going on down in DC and Philly, and it was just like, oh my God, the world is like, who is doing this? Who's next? What's going on?
Yeah.
And it was very, very, very frightening.
Wow.
To sit there and to kind of, take it all in, because at that time you couldn't take it all in. It was just too much.
Right. Wow.
So,
Pastor Tuck, sir, where were you 9/11?
Well, I was actually working at a classified facility,
undisclosed facility,
and the funny thing was, I hadn't my clearance hadn't yet come through, so I was working in one of the buildings outside the actual facility. So when it happened, there were TVs in that building, because inside the facility, like I said, there are not a lot of. I think there are TVs in certain places down there, but I was actually in an area where we had more access to phones, TVs, all that kind of stuff. So when it happened, like I said, I actually got to see what was going on TV when the first one hit. And so then we started watching and saw when the second one hit. And so I actually left to go pick up my daughter from daycare, because Kai was 1. So I just left. I left work, went pick Kai up. But, and then you start watching the story and everything. And you find out, like you said, the first one hit. Then the second one hit Pentagon, and then you see the third one went down, out in the rural area or whatever.
Yeah.
But what I didn't know and found out later was that, there's a list of targets that, the terrorist community have that they want over here. And of that list, the facility that I was working at is number 5 on the list.
Wow. Wow.
And there they later rated a compound that's probably about 40 minutes from my house, where the people who were on the plane that hit New York, that's where they were living, that's where they had staged from, was about 40 minutes from here.
So just so I'm clear, the folks who actually executed the terrorist attack was staying, living.
They were staying out in the country about 40 minutes from here.
Wow. From where you are now, or from where you were living at the time?
Yes. Where I live now, about 40 minutes from here.
Wow.
I think it's a place called Rustburg.
That's crazy.
It's one of the counties out from here.
Wow.
And so, and it's crazy because, like I said, when you put all that together, like I say, it's real crazy. But that's like I said, my memories of it all. But I remember I went and got because it was kind of sobering when you see people, like you said, jumping out of buildings, losing life, like you said. So of course, I went home, got my daughter, and just came home and just spent time and just was at home. But yeah, it's definitely something sobering. From that perspective,
the facility, and I'm not being facetious or comical here at all. Pastor Tucker worked at in his post as an engineer. You worked at a development facility, or what? How would you describe it?
They're probably, I guess, best way I could probably say it without saying too much is they provide. They're a defense contractor. They provide stuff for the military.
Okay. Wow. So what you were developing, or what you all were developing at that time, was
what they
priority.
supply. What they supply would probably do some heavy setbacks to the military.
My God, wow! And that whole period of time was it was to me it was strange. I think because it was unsettling. Yeah. I had no reference. Of course, I'm born in 1971. The Vietnam War ended in 1973, I believe, or 1974. So I have no recollection of the Vietnam War. There was nothing after that at all on American soil. And even the other wars, we had little punk wars like Grenada. We went in there, it was like 6 hours. They went in there and beat up on Grenada and came home, And so there was nothing that happened prior to 9/11 where this country was even at war. And then all of a sudden, the World Trade Center came down on national TV. I literally watched that happen. Right. I'm literally watching that building burn, and then Tower 1 fell down. And then it was like, and it's like you watching, you're like, okay, what? I mean, I remember being in the living room at the house, sitting there looking at the TV like, what? Are you serious? I was like blown away. And I remember I had a show booked that night. I was supposed to do a comedy set that night. I'm like, and I called my agent. I said, man, I don't know if I could do the show now. I really ain't no headspace to do no set tonight. He said, don't. He said, yeah. He said, I ain't had a chance to call you yet. He said that the show's canceled. He said, I said, okay. I was like, all right. And I just sat down at my table and I wrote my emotions out in a piece of equipment that I'll never get back. I wrote it out in a Brother word processor, and so that thing is done. But I always wish that I had what I wrote that day, because I was just pouring out, and so it was a weird day. It was a strange experience, and particularly when you have children. By that time, I had Jaleel. How old were you? How old were you, if you can remember? 9/11.
9/11 was 2001, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. If it was 2001, let me see.
You were born in 95.
If I was 2000, I believe in 2009 I was 5. So yeah, 6. Yep. I was 6.
Do you remember that day at all?
I do remember that day. I don't remember every single detail, but I remember very distinctly the moment where the school shut down and you came. We were in class, everything was going normally, and the lights in the building went out. It's not that the power went out, but somebody, I think the school went into lockdown, so the lights went out. The lights were out in the classroom. The hallways were pitch dark.
Wow.
And there was a announcement over the intercom letting us know that parents were coming. So they're basically doing what they do in elementary schools, calling us over the intercom, letting us know that, hey,
your mom is here.
Your mom is here.
Yeah.
But instead of us walking up there to leave, y'all were coming in to get us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I remember you came directly to the classroom. You picked us up. You took us home. You drove us home. It was the middle of the day. It was a nice day, but it was weird because we were going home super early. When we got home, on the TV in the living room in Beth's Creek was the 9/11 stuff going on. And I don't remember too much past that, but I just remember thinking to myself, what is that on the TV screen?
Yeah.
And why are we home? But that's pretty much all I know. I know now what happened, but in the moment I was just unsure. But yeah.
And I don't remember if I don't think I told y'all the reason why.
No, you didn't. You did not.
Yeah.
You did not.
Yeah. In my mind, again, I'm managing my own thoughts and emotions, and I definitely didn't want to project that onto y'all. But it was a weird day. Wow. It was weird, and again, just watching it all happen in real time. Probably if you really go back and look at, there's probably a lot of Americans who had a lot of trauma, a lot of leftover trauma from that day, and of course there was a bit of distance for me because we were significantly. A significant distance away from where it all took place to keep. But again, I think for me, what was jarring was, okay, you had 2 planes to hit the 2 towers. So that's 1, 2. The first I did not see. The second I saw live on TV. Then you hear, okay, breaking news, cut to the Pentagon. So now they're saying, okay, well, a plane, we're not sure if it's a terrorist attack, but a plane has crashed into the Pentagon. We don't know if it was an accident. So at first it was like, well, maybe somebody, because of all the turmoil, because of all the craziness, and you find, no, that was on purpose. That plane went down, and then you had the other one that the passengers literally forced the plane to crash in a field to take out their lives and save who knows what, however many hundreds or thousands of people or millions of people. Right. I mean, and to watch all of this on live TV, like report after report. Then the next thing was, after burning for hours, the towers fall down on national TV. Crazy. There is no way to put into full terms, if you were an adult, an American, what that was like, observing that on national television.
One of the things, I guess, that bothered me so much and still bothers me, when all of that happened, everybody was talking about how that tragedy was going to galvanize this country and everything else. And, and me being the ultimate realist that I am, and people were like, oh, oh man, this is just going to bring the country together, and I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, what do you mean? This, you don't see they having church services and prayer services everywhere. I'm like, we had noonday prayer at our church every Thursday. I mean, every Wednesday. So what I mean, that's the problem. I said the problem is we're reactionary. I said every supermarket in the country right now got Pray for America on it.
Yeah.
I said, but within 3 weeks it's gonna say pork chops $3.99 a pound.
Wow.
I said, so
yes.
I said, you watch what I tell you.
Wow.
And that's exactly what we do. We react and then we move on.
Exactly.
There's no long-term effect. I don't care how great the tragedy is.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We're reactionary people. And that's where the issue comes in, because people say the same thing about the pandemic. Oh, this is going to shift everybody. It's going to turn everybody's heart to God. No, it's not. The Bible says it is the goodness of God that leads people to repentance. Wow. So if you can't come to God when things are going good, you ain't coming to God. I'm not a believer in that fact that, if things get bad enough, there's some people who have tragic situations and they find God in those moments. But that's not the path to God. They don't understand that. God is not a life preserver. God is not an emergency switch.
Yeah.
God is not, an insurance plan.
Right.
God is your father. You don't develop a relationship with your parents because you have a catastrophe, you have an accident, you have a problem.
Yeah.
You develop a relationship with your parents on a day-to-day, things are going well, lifetime basis. So now when there is an emergency, you had know who to turn to.
Yeah.
Right. But people think, that, watch this, God's not, and that's why people have the impression they have of God as God being the police, because you treat him like he the police. He who you call when something's wrong.
Something's wrong, yeah.
Wow.
And that's why you feel like he's always trying to run your life, trying to enforce some rules upon you. He's trying to regulate you because that's how you treat him.
Wow.
You only call him when something's wrong.
Wow.
And that's the problem with all of these situations and circumstances when these, whether it's natural disaster, whether it's,
pandemic,
whether it's terrorism, whatever it is. And we always get these emotional responses.
Yeah.
Well, oh my God, this just happened. Yeah, it did. But God was here before it happened.
I kind of thought that, to your point, I kind of thought that when the pandemic was happening and developing before our eyes, kind of whirling out and it was scaling, I was like, well, I think this will bring people to their knees and people begin to really reverence God and return to God. And I thought that too, but then not too long after that, I said, yeah, these jokers wilding. They ain't really seeing it, and I'm like, oh yeah, and it's not that you're watching something saying, yeah, I see, now you see. No, it's like you think that people are going to hearts are going to return to God. But I remember what was said after 9/11. It was the biggest day in America of church attendance. It was like churches all over the country were packed the Sunday after 9/11.
Yeah.
And then after that, back to wilding. It was like, all right, man, and people scared, and it's like, all right, let's go on back and get these hoes. It's like it went right back to their life. Let's go back and drink and smoke weed and smoke cocaine and or just be casual with life.
And watch this, if that were the case, the projects would be the most holy places in the world. Third world countries. There would be no nation. There would be no Islamic nations because all of these third world countries, where the terrorism is, these would always be Christian nations. Because all these poverty-stricken, war-torn places, these will be hotbeds of Christianity if that were the case. All of these countries in Africa where all this voodooism and all this stuff, it wouldn't be the case. This is where the greatest movements of God would be taking place if bad conditions were driving people to God.
Man, Sister Jean had a comment here. She said, I was working at Benedict College. I heard of the initial impact while in my office, so I went downstairs to the electronic classroom to get a better look. I saw the second plane hit the tower. Then I saw the structures beginning to fall. I panicked and started calling home. I thought the city was under attack. I tried to call my dad and my brothers and could not connect. Then I heard about the Pentagon. Jewel and David worked there. Wow. It was terrifying thinking people in my life could be harmed in this. Yeah. My sister-in-law worked in the city and had to try to walk across the bridge to get out of New York. It was a scary day for me because the phone lines were all busy. Couldn't connect to anyone in New York. Wow. And she said New Jersey or DC. See again, a lot of times today, because we live in a generation, most of us have a cell phone, don't have a landline. We have no concept of busy signals. We have no concept of not being able to text someone, or not being able to FaceTime someone, or not being able to turn your locator on and see exactly where you are.
Right.
You just imagine.
But the problem is, even in situations like that, they overload the cell towers, and the whole cell network is down at that point. Yeah, because everybody's trying to make calls, and so at that point you get those signals set the systems down.
That's right.
Or that you can't even get a call through on when a major catastrophe like that happens. You find that you can't even get a cell call out because the cell towers are jammed with so many calls trying to go through.
From an engineering standpoint, is there any way around that? Is there another way to get it to connect?
It's getting better when they keep adding these, when they keep going from 3G to 4G to 5G, because that's adding bandwidth. Okay. That's creating more bandwidth. But in the past, that's what's happened. I don't know what's been the latest thing that's happened, and if that's still an issue.
Wow.
But you'll hear that thing, all circuits are busy right now, and that's the reason why, because they've basically, so many calls are trying to go out, it jams the cell tower. Can't handle with so much workload.
Wow.
I had a disturbing thing last night. Like yesterday at my grandson's school. Now he's 9. Max.
What up, Max?
And he's 9, and he called me last night, and he was like, yeah, I am, I'm just upset. And I said, what's the matter? He said, we had to do an experiment or something, or a demonstration of 911 about the planes and crashing into the buildings. And I said, oh, okay. And he said, and I can't get that image out of my head. And he's not. He said, I can't go to sleep. I can't get it out of my head. He said, all those people, and he's 9.
9
he said,
years old.
all those people lost their lives. And and he said, and I can't stop thinking about it. And I said, okay. I said, but I had to give him something else to think about. So I was telling him that the people that were here, they were heroes, the ones that took the plane down.
Yeah.
And I said, they were heroes, and, their families were so proud of them because they saved people's lives.
Yeah.
And so he was like, okay, I can think about it better that way.
Yeah.
But he was distressed from the time he got home from school until the time he talked to me.
Was he
talking about that, people died.
Was he aware of 9/11 but prior to yesterday?
I don't think he was.
No.
I don't think so, because he's only 9.
Right.
So
and that's the problem.
Right.
Why are y'all doing that
they
to children?
showed him.
These children need to be children. There is no benefit of him knowing that. People talk, oh, that's history. What benefit is for him to know that at that age?
Wow.
There's none.
Wow. Mokatasa said 9/11 happened and somehow our president was in Vietnam. Really? I find that disrespectful. I saw some folks who said that on the news yesterday. Mokatasa also said it's going to be another catastrophe to bring us all back together again. Right now, the U.S. is way too divided. It really is. There are I don't know if these are statistics or this just a example. They're saying that people are more divided today than they were during the Civil War, or about as divided pre-Civil War, and that may be an extreme case, an extreme reference or example, but this country really is split. And politically, definitely, and I would even say more, even culturally, in many ways, we're in a weird space. We're in a weird space.
We really are.
And for this to be modern times, for us to know as much as we know, for us to have as much historical reference, understanding, information, and for things to be where they are today, even still, it's a strange. We're in strange times, y'all. Strange times. Let me get some more comments here. Can y'all, Don and Pastor Tuck, check Facebook? I'm over here on Clubhouse. I'm sorry, Uzoma, he said he asked this question of Brother Mike Singletary, Coach Mike Singletary. And I didn't see this until later on. He says, sir, I want to ask, what were the daily challenges you faced as a 12-year-old moving forward, and how did you overcome them daily, especially when it looked like the dreams and goals were seemingly hard and unreachable? Great question. My brother, I wish I would have got a chance to ask that question while Coach Mike's Singletary was on.
We kind of talked about that some. I think the challenges of dealing with his family structure,
right?
Yeah,
shifting right in front of him.
Yeah,
I think that was a big part of that.
Yeah. Again, right now, y'all, we talking about it. Where were you on 9/11? I'm going to go back up top as there were some questions, some answers and comments. Marion Williams said, I still remember the black sister who was walking around all covered in that white soot from the rubble. Poor lady has died from cancer. Wow, caused by the chemicals of that day. Very sad time in America. Yeah, Marion, it said as of yesterday, over 3,000 people, in addition to the 3,000 people that died in the attack, over 3,000 people have died of causes, sicknesses, ailments that were caused because of either the exposure, the chemical, or somehow some injury directly connected to 9/11.
That's right.
And that's crazy that 22 years later, we're still living with 3,000 people have died in addition to the original 3,000 plus people. Yeah, we this is interesting time. Coming to some more comments here. I see Tristan got a hand up. Gilio, if y'all got anything more to add, we're coming to the end of the show, y'all. Marion said, I was teaching at the time, and the instant worry for Angelinos after the second building was that there would be a plane attack downtown LA. That was one of the rumors that was out. That's when we knew the first crash was not an accident. So we were all on high alert. We were thinking, this is America. We don't get attacked. Yep. Yep. That was the sentiment. That was the thought. But clearly we found that was not the case. Go ahead.
Facebook. I just jumped on Facebook for a minute. Pastor Stephanie Tucker, one of my vets, told me where the compound was. So I'm sure she's referring to when Pastor Tucker was talking about where they lived. And she said one of the terrorists took aviation courses at Liberty University.
Wow. At Liberty. Man.
Your mom said you're served in Vietnam. I don't know what something probably that you said, but she said you served in Vietnam. Pastor Steph said 9/11 would trigger my vets with PTSD and survivor's guilt. I would see increased symptoms. So,
I hear a lot about that today. Survivor's guilt or survivor's what do they call it? It's another term. It's not just guilt. It's another term. Remorse. Survivor's remorse. Yeah, that's it. It's strange. It's again, y'all, we living in some interesting circumstances as people today because we get numb to stuff too. That's another thing too that's happened today. It's so much turmoil. There's so much craziness that happens, whether that's mass shootings, whether that is the racial conflicts, whether that is terrorist attacks, whether that is fires and storms, tornadoes and hurricanes, what have you. We're getting numb to the things that are happening in this earth that really should bring us a lot of pause and bring us concern, and it calls us to really be reflective.
That's right.
And this is an interesting state that we're in right now, and I pray that we come through this. There's a focus. There's an adjustment.
Your mom said your father served in Vietnam.
Oh yes, he did. He served 3 tours in Vietnam. Yeah. 3 tours.
Yeah, my father-in-law, Korea, World War II, Korea and Vietnam veteran. I
would love to have talked to Colonel Swain about 9/11 to hear what his thoughts were. If y'all have any reflections on that, Pastor Tucker, Pastor Stephanie, drop that in the comments, Pastor Stephanie, Pastor Tucker. You clearly were married then. What was Colonel Swain's position on 9/11?
I see what Pastor Stephanie has to say about that.
Yeah,
like I said, that's one thing I don't remember talking to him about. He talked so much about the stuff that he had gone through in the military. Like I said, he was a walking anthology of military history.
Yeah, literally, y'all, in the history books. Colonel Carol Swain. Evelyn Hayes Promise said, I'll never forget that day. I was teaching school. I went into the teacher's lounge and saw everything on TV. I was in complete shock. ! It was unreal! Such a sad day. No more teaching after that. We were in tears. Yeah. That was kind of like the day of, I think we've talked about it before, the day of the space shuttle Challenger.
Yeah, that
that was, of course, I was in middle school then, but that was another one of those weird days you're watching something happen live on TV. Pastor Stephanie,
middle school. We was in high school, man.
You were in high school. I was in middle school. I got left back. I keep telling you that, Pastor Doug. You went on to high school. You were in 9th grade, as where you should have been. I was in 8th grade again.
Sorry about that.
Second time.
Sorry to hear that.
He liked it. It was so nice he did it twice.
The pettiness and Donna and Pastor Tuck.
Sorry to hear that.
Sorry
to hear that.
It was so nice he wanted to do it twice. Yes.
Oh, y'all. Oh, these professional pettiness.
Pastor Tuck. He was wearing them corduroy pants.
You know, boy, with the corduroy pants.
Wearing them corduroy pants.
Oh boy, went back to the rim, man. He didn't go to high school, man.
Hey, you know, boy, with the corduroy pants and the wax freestyle.
See, we supposed to be being serious here. Remember 9/11?
That's right.
11:55. Look at these two right here.
Hey, well, we didn't want to go out. We didn't want to go out on a somber
we
note.
don't want to do them like Max. We don't want to do them like Max. Leave with these bad thoughts in the head.
That's right.
Pastor Stephanie said, I was working and walked past the TV. The TV, the custodian said, Stephanie, there's a lot of terrorism. I was like, yeah, there is. He said, no, look. Then I saw the second plane hit on TV. Yeah. There's something about that second plane because we were all focused on the first plane. I think we were like,
because that's the craziness. Because see, when the first plane hit, it was like they didn't show it live because nobody was filming that. Right. So you're just looking at the building smoldering, but everybody's camera was on the building smoldering, and then here comes the second plane on camera. Yeah. So that's why that was so impactful because you're supposed to be just looking at the building like, yo, the building has been hit by a plane, and here comes the other one.
Yeah. Well, you know,
that's why that was so amazing.
I think the traumatic part of it is in the beginning. I remember it was an accident. Everybody thought it was an accident. I remember listening to ABC radio. I think I don't know if it was Ted Koppel or somebody had come in and taken over the like everything. All the news was on the World Trade Center, and they were like, well, let's see, you know, we think this is an accident.
Pilot error, somebody sleep drunk. Yeah, you don't know what happened.
And we found out very quickly. This ain't no accident, right? When that second plane hit, everything got different.
It did.
Yeah, we got to get up out of here. We out of time. Tristan, I know Tristan had a comment, but we have to get it in later. Listen, y'all, make sure y'all go, if you're on Clubhouse, go to the after the show room. Yes. Paul, Celeste, Ashley Bailey host the room daily, and I would love to hop in and see what they're talking about today. I can't, but I know it's going to be an interesting room today. That's on Clubhouse. Go ahead.
Thank you for hosting my pastoral anniversary on Sunday.
Yeah, hold on.
And everybody who came out, everybody who sowed seed. I want to thank everybody. For celebrating my 20th anniversary. We're going to be celebrating all month. This Sunday, we got Pastor Bullock coming up, bringing the word. But I want to praise God. Thank y'all for continuing to ride with me. God for keeping me for 20 years in ministry. This is a blessed celebration. If you didn't see it, you need to go back and watch that replay. Pastor Tony brought an amazing word. And like I said, and just all of the people who came out and just sent their video tributes. I was so blessed by all of that. Thank y'all. It was so much.
Great, beautiful service. Glad to participate and be a part of it. Y'all continue to sow and give. Pastor Tuck is still, you can still give all month. Coming up, y'all, you got to understand, coming up is Pastor Tucker's 20th anniversary celebration concert. That's featuring this year. We got Juvenile, Uncle Luke, and Lil Wayne will be featured for Pastor Tuck's anniversary concert. So shout out to that right there. And just added, Pastor Stephanie just texted, said Trina has just been added. So Juvenile, Lil Wayne.
Headlining will be the DMX hologram.
And Horse Cartwright is going to show up too. Special guest, Horse Cartwright.
We still negotiating with Biggie's agent to see if we can get the Biggie hologram.
Pastor Stephanie she put 6. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She put 5 side eyes in the comments.
Somebody was blind.
So Mary Motley was like, "Wow." Hey, I'm sorry. I had to get him. I had to get it back for cracking on me getting left back. Before we go, okay, we out of time. We got to get out of Clubhouse. We got another room coming to Clubhouse.
Okay, 59.
Y'all see why he got left back, don't
y'all? Listen, y'all, we love y'all. We'll be back here Thursday. Topic Thursday is, are men lost? We've talked about this before, but there's a new article out on the Washington Post that men are lost. It's not talking about men, black men, or anything. It's like men. It said men are lost. Let's talk about that coming up Thursday. Right. We're going to see y'all when we see y'all, fam. This is the Akintunde Show. Peace.
Love your family.
Love y'all.
front of the prophet.